everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel CrackZat Turning Problems into Solutions. This is me Priyasha Das, and today I am up with a unique and an unexpected DI set from the ZAT PYQ. Now the reason why I am calling this as a unique and an unexpected DI set is because generally when we talk of DI, we talk of mathematics, we talk of questions related to some sums or mathematics, but and even the DI questions are added in the QA part only, so they are a part of maths as we consider. But what is interesting in this DI set is that it involves a lot of decision making as well as verbal ability. And I'll show you how by the questions given under it. But I'll before proceeding with these questions, I'd like to tell you a basic difference between ZAT and the other examinations. So if we consider ZAT as a separate exam, the only thing which would come out of the mouth of every person who knows about that examination is that it is a verbose examination. Verbose means too much of vocabulary, too much of English, too much of words. That means even if they want you to, add a simple number like 2 plus 5, they'll make a full story out of it that there were two mangoes and then he doubled it and then he reduced two and then there were one more than double of the previous number of mangoes, that is 5, and then you will be adding those numbers. So it's just making a story out of a simple stuff. So the same thing is expected in the DI sets as well. Now this DI set which I'm going to discuss right now will be having questions where we won't be calculating at all. Yes, this is true that there are three questions of this DI set which I'm going to discuss right now, and none of these three questions are going to use up a small space in your rough sheet which you will get in the examination. So let's see what is the paper and what is the question and how are we going to solve it, and how decision making and verbal ability is also a part of this DI set. Let's see that. Okay, so here there's a table form DI, and I have also mentioned it in my shorts that those who are trying to, just prepare in these last few days and want to figure out what DI set will be the most important, please go with table based DIs. Okay, so this is a table based DIs and the information is clearly in percentages written over here. So all the numbers you see over here is just percentages with no complete value. I repeat, nowhere in the question you see a complete number, that these percentages are basically of a total number, this not mentioned anywhere. Based on the survey of the shop types, Kamath categorized the Indian states into four geographical regions as per the table, that was Northeast, Southwest, and a all India overall survey as well. Now, what next? His boss felt that the categorization was inadequate since important labels were missing. What kind of important labels? Maybe some more information his boss is talking about. Boss always want more, right? Then Kamath argued that no further labels are required to interpret the data. Not really important, Let's directly jump down to the questions. The first question is inference. The moment you see the options, you're like, come on, are we solving a verbal ability question or are we solving a DI question? But it's true, I told you this DI set was really out of the box, and that's why I thought of bringing it up in the video and giving you all an idea about these kind of DI sets as well, which you might expect in the paper, because this is a previous year paper, previous year question, of course. Now let's see. The question says, a consultant observing the data made the following two inferences. The first inference is the number of grocers per thousand population is the highest in North India. And the second inference is the number of cosmetic per thousand population is the highest in South India. Now, anyone after reading these two inferences will quickly go back to the table, check the cosmetics in South, and check the, let me check what was that other one. I think it's grocers. All right, so we'll check the number of grocers the number associated with grocers in the north. This should be the highest in North India and should be highest in South India for the cosmetic. And if you see, you see that, oh my God, yes, these numbers are really the highest. If I compare East, West, and South with North, yes, it is the highest. And if I compare North, East, West with South, yes, South is the highest. But, 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 here comes the real game, as I mentioned. Verbal ability with decision making. Guys, check this out. All figures are in percentage, alright? We don't know the whole number to which the percentage will be calculated. And the number below is talking about per thousand population. Now, when you don't know the whole number, how are you going to determine the answer with the help of the percentage? For a comparison which is asking you a comparison per thousand in numbers, right? So, definitely none of the inferences is going to be correct because we don't have the data. If at all I would have got an option of data inadequate, I would have went with that. But because ये option दिया ही नहीं हुआ है, so we would simply go with option D. That is neither of the inferences are correct. Now it's a very easy trap, I tell you. People might just check on with the numbers and go with both of these inferences or either of these inferences. But please try to understand the language here. That maximum focuses on your verbal abilities only, and of course the decision making, but the maximum focus is on your verbal ability, how well you understand the language you are going to be tested upon. That's English. So you should understand it well, you should speak it well, and that's the major focus of that. So इन चीजों को ध्यान में रखते हुए you should now understand the fact that English is the ruler in this examination. Moving to the next question quickly, quite related to the question we discussed right now. Question 2 says the average size of the food shops in East India was twice that of the food shops of West India. So, this is the additional information given to me before a question is asked. And what's the real question? Which of the following cannot be inferred from the above data? Cannot be inferred. Okay. So, what is the above data? The above data is that the number of shops, not the number, the size of shops, the size of the shop is twice in East India as compared to West India. Now, what we cannot infer is what we have to find out. So, it's a very smart question. And let's see the options. First option, as far as food shops are concerned, customers in East India prefer spatial surroundings compared to customers in West India. Wait a minute. Reminder again, check verbal ability. Do you know the meaning of spatial? If you know it, then hands down, you will be passing out this question very easily. But in case you don't, then there is a probability that you might get confused with option A and any other option you feel cannot be inferred. All right, so my work is to tell you the meaning. So the meaning here of spatial is spaces. Okay, spatial. If you are a science student, you must have learned about spatial understanding, or maybe not even a science student. Like when we were in kindergarten as well, there's a chapter called as spatial understanding. So in kindergarten also, the spatial understanding chapter really relates with the the objects around you. So spatial is space related. So what here the option A tries to say is that the people or the customers in East India prefer spatial surroundings, means more spacious places. So is this an information which we can infer? Of course we can, because the size of the shops in East India is double of that of West India. That automatically means that the reason for keeping it double is because people or the customers prefer spatial surroundings. All right, so this can be inferred. So this is not our answer. We want cannot. So this is not our answer. Option B. As far as the food shops are concerned, the rentals are very high in the West India compared to East India. We can definitely infer this because of the rentals being high. The size of the shops in West India is less compared to the East India. This is one of the reasons, can be one of the reasons why the rentals are high. Can you see this? The way we are interpreting the option looks like we are actually solving a verbal ability, CR question, critical reasoning question. So that's the reason, guys. This is a special DI set I have brought. Okay, now option C. This is interesting. The ratio of customers buying from the food shops in East India to the customers buying from the food shops of West India is certain number. Now, apply the brains you applied just in the previous question. सिर्फ परसेंटेजेस गिवन है हमें और हमें कोई होल नंबर नहीं दिया हुआ है जिससे हम ये जान पाए कि 20% ऑफ व्हाट, 30% ऑफ व्हाट. तो व्हाट तो गिवन ही नहीं है, राइट? व्हेन द नंबर इज नॉट गिवन एंड दे आर आस्किंग अस टू फाइंड आउट द रेशियोज बेस्ड ऑन इट, is it possible? Can we infer this information? I don't think so. So I'll keep it on hold and just check option D and E quickly and come back. Option D says there are 740 food shops in West India. Now you will be like, how can we determine the exact number of food shops? How can we determine the exact number in South India? Now, I have two answers for this. Answer number one, that is one of the basic answers, that because no numbers are given to you, so जो भी number होगा वो कोई एक number होगा, and based on that one number, can we not determine the number of food shops? We can. We can infer it. If we have any one data from the table above, we can infer it. Okay. But some of you will come up and say, like in the comments, I know, I still don't understand why or how can we get the number of shops exactly? How can we infer it from the information above? You are absolutely correct. Now, here comes the trick, and I want to share it with all of you. And this is something which will really help you in your examination as well. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है that we are, very much confused between two or three options which are close to each other. So try to use your odd one out skills. Okay, this is the trick which I'm going to tell you for this. You have to use your odd one out skills. Now, how will we do that? Odd one out is basically classification, and classification is making a group of certain things and keeping one thing aside, and this will be my odd one out. Same thing I'm going to do over the three options I'm confused in, C, D, and E. Just take an instance that if at all your mind thinks that this can be the answer, like D can be the answer, then reiterate and think again that if I cannot infer the number of shops in West India, how can I infer the number of shops in South India? Right? If we can infer both the numbers. If we cannot infer, we cannot infer any of the numbers. Easy? Easy to understand? Like if I can find out the number of food shops in West India, I can very well find out the number of food shops in South India also. That means either both of them will be correct or both of them will be wrong. Both of them can be inferred or both of them cannot be inferred. So this is a trick which saves these two options, and I'll say that by any means it can be possible that D and E can be inferred from the data. But what cannot be inferred from the data is the ratio, because for the ratio we need much information about the shops in East India, information about the shops in West India. Along with it, we also need the the overall information, the overall shops. So that will be huge amount of data, and we don't have that much data. And you know what, we are not concerned about the table, we are only concerned about this part of the question. Using this part, can we find it out? No. So no is the answer for option C, and we cannot infer option C. See, I'll again reiterate, C, D, E are very close to each other, but we'll use our trick of eliminating D and E, which will eventually leave us with option C as the answer. Okay, that is tricky, guys. We need to find out our own ways to, help and understand ourselves, like understand the question and help ourselves with this. All right, the last question of the set, and then we'll wind up the video. Bala collected the same data 5 years after Kamath using the same categorization. Now, which of the following will definitely be concluded? Again, same data, what information can you definitely conclude? Can you conclude the number of any shop types? No. Increased or decreased, the number cannot be found out or concluded definitely when you don't have the total number. When you just have the percentage, you can't find out the number. Similarly, number of grocery shops, again, number not possible. A not possible, B not possible. For the last 4 years in all India, the number of chemists, so again, number. Whenever you see this number, strike it off. Don't read the question at all. Save your time. In the 4 years in East India, again this number is there. So number. All the four options have numbers in it, and we know that we cannot find out the numbers from the percentages. Bang on. That's over. Now option E is the last option. Let's see if it really stands out to be different. As per the new survey conducted, Pan Bidi shops in East India are next only to grocers. Now, have a look. Next only to means second. So Pan Bidi shops in East India should be the second highest. Now let me go back to my table and show you something. You will again say that, come on Priyasha, we are not having any data. So how can you say that we would be, understanding this, or we would be getting the second highest from it? Guys, listen. In East India, this is the pan bidi and this is the grocers, right? Now, if you carefully observe this, the highest number is that of grocers and the second highest is of pan bidi, as mentioned in this, and which can be definitely concluded. Why can it be definitely concluded? If I take the total number of shops to be 100, then also I can see that this will be the second highest. If I take it to be 2000, then also this will be the second highest. If I take it to be 1 lakh also, then also the same results will come up. The percentage which is the second highest will still remain the second highest no matter what number comes in. And that's the way you can definitely conclude that Pan Bidi shops will always come next to the grocer shops in East India. Alright, so with this we come to the end of this video where we did a very special and a nice kind of a unique DI set which came in the previous year's that paper, and this was much more verbal and decision making oriented than mathematics oriented. So I thought of bringing this in a video for you people. If you found this useful and nice and interesting, please like this video, share it with your friends, and of course if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe the channel. I am up with more such videos, and until we meet again, please take care and thanks for watching.